It's important for the team to kind of get individual flair out of everyone.
It is, and we embrace players that just walk in and want to do interviews and just don't even get asked. They just walk up, take the microphone and stay there and start talking.
Love it.
Exceptional from his hawk.
We embrace Jace's weirdness.
Yeah, correct.
He's just such a great performer.
We do.
And they embrace Dane Zorko's weirdness. He still had his boots down his pants.
What about
that was
10
strange.
or 15 minutes
really
after
strange.
the game?
What about the way that Cam Rayner spoke about him, how he's just going to keep going? He was the 45 ranked player on the field in the first half, Dane Zorko, and then he was the first ranked player in the second half.
Great turnaround.
So he's never going to die wondering, and that's exactly how he goes about it.
Worst to best Bucks.
Well, it's the way the Lions have gone about their footy, and it got them a flag last year. They're not going to die wondering next week.
And you can only do that if the coach has confidence in you and backs you in.
And that's why they love him so much, isn't it? All right, we're going to have a look at our number one player tonight with thanks to Ford Ranger. And it is Hugh McCluggage backing up his brilliant game at the Gabba, Jack, with another ripper tonight. 37 disposals for Hugh.
Yeah, Craig McRae put it on the agenda earlier that steel side bottom was going to go to him and tag him. McCluggage had been tagged out of these finals by O'Sheen Mullen in the first final, but unfortunately, steel side bottom just couldn't go with him. And a good sign of work rate is ground balls. And McCluggage led the game in ground balls tonight with 11. Goes for the 37 disposals. The one goal from forward 50 stoppage, which was fantastic as well. 10 clearances. You can see the metres gained there, Bucks. This is one of the most complete games in an AFL final.
Yeah, it's been a great response. And obviously Mullen did have his number, and Brisbane didn't move the ball particularly well. The Cats defended them really well, and McCluggage just the one kick in the first half. I think he only had 12 or 13 touches for the game, and Mullen definitely took the points. So we're going to go back there again. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that we'll see that match up again. But I don't think the Lions they'll definitely move the ball better. They'll give McCluggage more chance, and his work rate. He's had a look at it.
How much do they study that though? How much do you look at? This game for McCluggage? But is it worth just even wiping this one and going back to that first final and going, Hugh, you need to we need to figure out exactly what's going to happen?
Well, his work rate in the last 2 weeks has been through the roof. And I think Chris Fagan, without saying that he didn't work hard enough against Mullen 2 weeks ago, said that he often will work his way through it, and that work rate will often beat a tag. And I think that was a nod to the fact that Mullen was just too good for him on the night. So one of the many headline acts that we'll see throughout the week.
Feels like it won't happen twice. It feels like he'll be able to work his way through that. He is such a star. We're going to have a look at Brisbane's ability to score from stoppage, Jace, in the third term. It was when they really exploded, and the numbers in this area were fabulous.
Yeah, they were. I mean, these are just invaluable. You watch Zach Bailey come running through here, gets a beautiful tap, and he's able to convert. And these
How's he on his own, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, they kill you. They kill you. I mean, it's too late now to start going through it from a Collingwood perspective. They'll have to review it, and they'll look at some of these and go, well, we just didn't get it right. Too many times we allowed them to get goal side or get out in front, and we just had wrong positioning in a lot of them.
Well, they absolutely dominated. 4 forward 50 goals, 3 of them in the third quarter, 7 goals from front half stoppage, and 10 from stoppage throughout the match.
I'm not sure you can defend against this one, though.
No, this one, he's pretty exceptional, especially on this right foot in.
He can. Houston's in the wrong spot there. He needs to be in that hit spot where they've scored those first 2 goals from. So, like, I look at this as this is structure breaking down under pressure. Unfortunately, this is the worst result from forward 50 stoppage for Collingwood from the year. They've given up 4 goals. They only average usually 10 points against. In a game that is decided by inches, yes, the margin's a little bit bigger than that in the end, but that's cost them, and it's potentially cost them a grand final berth.
You spoke about this before, Jack. It is the most controversial moment of the game. We're going to have a look now and debate it. The non-free kick to Jamie Elliott there, which ends up, the ball goes up the other end. Charlie Cameron goals, putting them 18 points clear. This could have got the Pies had he scored within 6 points. Jace, was it a free kick?
Well, I got to be honest, the more I look at it, the more I think the umpire made the right decision. At no stage does he take his eye off the ball. He is running flat stick with his head up, tracking the ball, and it looks like he got maybe a finger on the ball, not so much the arm. Maybe he got the ball and the arm, but I think the umpires often take their cues from where the players' eyes are. And to his credit, Starcevic, his eyes never left the ball.
Jace, if you're at one end of the pole, I'm at the completely other end of the pole. That is a free kick every day of the week in the biggest game of the year.
Why is the free kick there?
It's front on contact.
Where did he hit him?
It doesn't matter if he's got his eyes on the ball or not. It's front on contact.
No, but if he
chops his arms here.
Does he chop the arm or does he hit the ball?
That's an arm chop there.
That's a ball.
That's
He's
the
got
arm
his
chop.
fist
Front
hitting the ball,
on contact.
mate.
That is a free kick every day of the week.
That looks to me like the fist is there right where the ball is.
That is a free
in
kick
between
every
his
day
hands.
of the week.
So,
Bucks, where do you sit on that?
Well, in between you two.
You can't sit in between us on the decision, though.
I know. Okay.
It looks a free kick. I'll give you that. It looks a free kick.
I think it's a free kick. But I think no matter, I understand with your eyes on the ball, and I understand that he might just get his fist on the ball, but that doesn't matter. The arm chop is still a thing, and front on contact is still a thing. That's a free kick.
All right,
I stand corrected.
We're going to head to the rooms because our intrepid news reporter, John Ralph, will have an answer on what the AFL will make of this. Lynchy, grill Ralphie on what you think is going to come out of this, because it will be a big talking point.
Oh, it's a massive talking point, Ralphie, and Will down on sidelines. And it's reasonable to say the Collingwood cheer squad weren't overly enamoured with the decision. Take us through what's been the response post-game.
Yeah, so the AFL will clarify it, the AFL umpiring department will assess it, and I'd imagine by very early tomorrow morning we'll get a decision that this is a blatant error. I think it's as blatant an umpiring error as we've seen this year, given the context and given the fact that, well, having looked at it in slow-mo, the 3 points you're looking for, no eyes on the ball, he takes Elliott's left arm.
No, you got to pull up on that day, eyes on the ball.
And he takes his body.
You're saying he didn't have eyes on the ball?
He didn't have eyes on the ball.
What do you mean? Hang on, play that again, Ralphie. Put your glasses on.
So you think he spins around and turns his head?
Right, no, I'm talking about the first component. Watch the ball. Watch his eyes. He has got his eyes on the ball, so not Tim Memory.
All right, okay, so any of those things have to be applicable there for it to be a free kick. He takes his left arm,
look at his eyes.
He takes his body.
He's clearly got his eyes on the ball there.
Yeah, and that's fine. You're allowed to punch the ball, but if you drag that left arm as he does,
Ralphie.
My point is this is a blatant free kick. This is not something the umpire should be intervening in. The context of it. So 12 points down. It would have brought him back to 6 points down with 9 minutes left. So much time. And 40 seconds later, the ball is in the arms of Charlie Cameron, and it is effectively game over. So the AFL will acknowledge that that's an umpiring decision.
So just on this so quickly now, yes, it's 50-50 call. So, but you've said two things that you've seen or you think you've seen. But actually, the vision doesn't show that. He had eyes on the ball and he didn't drag his arm down like you said. So
he chops the arm.
I don't think he even chops the arm, but to the outside world, when it actually happens, you think it's a free kick. I thought it was a free kick. If we see it again. So there,
so Starcevic has to turn.
Ball.
Starcevic has to turn and has to have his body going the other direction there, Brownie. You can't just clatter into a player and say, I might have got the ball or my eyes were looking in that vicinity. You actually have to be spinning around, I know that's not great for camera, and try and actually get your body towards where that ball is.
I think the front on contact is the one, isn't it? That's the front on contact is the one that you can argue that's a free kick. That's right.
Against that one.
That's dumb luck, the fact that he hits that ball, if he even does, or if he has his eyes on the ball.
I'm adamant. His eyes are on the ball and he didn't drag the arm down, but the front on contact is hard to dispute.